Hi, welcome back. Let's discuss one concept in the Spring, that is Spring Bean Post Processor. Okay, here we are having two methods: post process before initialization and post process after initialization. Okay, we'll discuss this concept with example and we'll go for the code as well. Okay. As we discussed earlier sessions, how an object having life cycle management, right? Suppose if we take any object, that object having two states like construction and the destroy states. Similarly, in Bean also, similarly in Spring we are having Bean having different life cycle management methods that we discussed in this video. About the life cycle management, we are having two methods, that is post construct and pre destroy. Assume if we take the life cycle methods as birth and death, then post construct, once the object is constructed we need to perform some activities, and pre destroy, before destroying any object we need to perform some destruction activity or cleanup activity. That information we can get to know in the Bean life cycle. Okay, but the present video is Bean post processor. Bean post processor. Okay, yeah, I'll try to do the shorter the video recording. See, suppose if we create any object, right, then by using new operator we can create the object. Then once the object is created, after the any setter or constructor injections are there, that injections will be performed. Then if we want go for the Bean life cycle, right, then we need to go for init method as post construction and another method, assume destroy. Okay, destroy can be treated as one of the destroy. Since these are user defined method, we can perform the destruction activities in this method. Now when we are going to use the Bean post processor, okay, as these two are the life cycle management methods, hope we are aware. With this knowledge I am proceeding. Now if I want to perform some operation, or suppose in my class, assume in my project I am having suppose 10 to 20 beans. Okay, these 10 to 20 beans, they have common logic. I can go with the init method for all 10 beans, 10 or 20 beans, but there, that whatever init logic we are returning, right, that is common across, so the code will be duplicated. So in that situation we can go for the Bean post processor. Okay, how the execution will be happens means, assume even if we are having init method, then before executing this init method, this post process before initialization will be executed, and once this is completed, then the control will comes to the init method. Once this init method is completed, then again one more Bean post processor method, that is post process after initialization will be called. This is my flow of execution. First object will be created, then if any setter or constructor injections are there, then that will be performed, and if we are having any life cycle management phases, then before executing this life cycle management, our Bean post processor will be called. Then once that is completed, then I will go for the lifecycle management init method. Means we can achieve this lifecycle management method by different ways. We discussed that in the previous video. And once this init is completed, again my bean post processor, another method will be called. This is flow of execution. Okay. We will take one use case, then we will do the coding for that one. Suppose I am having one vehicle rental application. Here the vehicle rental is maintaining different types of vehicle for rent purpose. Means we are the owners of this rental vehicle portal, or we are maintaining. I am maintaining different kind of vehicles like buses, cars, motorcycles, and different types of vehicles. Now what, customers will approach to this rental vehicle shop or portal. Whichever vehicle they want, they can take that vehicle and they can fulfill their requirement. Okay, but before taking this any vehicle, there are some activities we need to perform. Once the object, I mean the bus object is created, once the bus object creation is completed, then before hand it over to the person, we may do some init operations. Means it's not mandatory. If we are providing bean lifecycle management methods, then that is mandatory to execute. Okay, these are the three classes, assume. So as I showed how the Maven project we can create in the previous video, you just refer. For time saving purpose, I am not showing how the creation of the project structure and all. Okay, you just refer this video, you will get how we created the classes with the help. Hi, welcome. Today we'll see how we can create a Spring Maven project in STS ID. Okay, okay. Now what I created three beans. Yeah, before navigating to the code, let me complete this process. Okay, I'm having three classes, like I'm having three packages. One is beans, helper, and this is the test. And I created the common resource, means my application context in this XML. Okay, okay. This is my folder structure. See, I'm having different vehicles, right? All different vehicles. Just I created the classes, but inside class nothing is there. But for better understanding, here in this project I am using one of the bean life cycle. Why I am using, when actually at what is the flow of execution. Suppose if I am not going with init, right, then once this setter injection is completed, then these two operations will be called. So just to differentiate how the process will be flow of execution, so I took one of the bean lifecycle method. Okay, but these two classes are empty. I don't have any implementation, just two vehicles I created. Fine. Now in this I am having one more vehicle. This is the vehicle, bus vehicle. If you see this class, right, what we provided, yeah, few parts of the code I am commenting just for better understanding. Okay, yeah, this is having one constructor and having one custom init method. Okay, as I am using one custom init lifecycle management, at the time of creating bean, what I need to provide? I need to provide the this bean, yeah, this destroy method I commented, right? Yeah, I created this project before itself just for saving the time. Okay, as I created bus object and I'm having one bean lifecycle init method. This is the custom init I declared. So when I am asking the container just bean object, once the object is created by using the constructor, and then before it hand it over to the user, what IOC container will do? IOC container will perform this custom init operation. Assume if I am approaching to the bus, selection of bus, then what I need some prototype of the bus. So once the prototype is ready, then customer will choose his own color. This I am performing through the custom init. Vehicle is ready with your favorite color blue, assume. Okay, from the custom init. See, if any mandatory activity, then we can go with the life cycle method. But if I am having 100 beans like this is common logic, right? Then in that case, instead of going with each and every Java class with custom init, what we can do, we can go for the bean post processor. Okay, how it will be? We'll create one bean post processor. Yeah, assume the class may be anything. Then we need to implement the bean post processor. Okay, then it has two overridden method. We need to provide the implementation for those methods. Assume here post process before initialization. When this will call before init method, this method will be called. Before init method, the post process before initialization will be called. Okay, and then when the post process after initialization, once the init method is completed, then the post process after initialization will be called. Just I am printing the system out.println just to track the flow. Okay, post process before initialization, once user select his vehicle type color as blue, then we need to sanitize that particular bus. Maybe because of this different viruses, assume the bus is not proper state. So this is one of the mandatory activity. So before choosing the color, all buses will be sanitized. Now sanitization complete. Now the color also complete with the help of, now I am choosing the color. Here sanitization completed. Now user related color also chosen. And next one, before hand it over to the customer, we need to register that particular bus. So once init is complete, we need to perform the vehicle registration process. Even this vehicle registration process also completed. Now my bean is ready. Bean is nothing but implemented class. So this I need to hand it over to the bean factory. So even this also I created as a one bean. The application context will be simple. Okay, I am having 3 beans. So 3 beans I given the definition, and this is nothing but my bean post processor, that also I declared as bean. Now coming to the classes. Yeah, okay, then I'll execute this program. I'm having one test class as well. See, I am having one more helper, that is count helper, that I will tell once this program is completed, how the program execution means. Why I am going for this helper means, this helper object tracer, suppose if I am having multiple objects, like I am creating multiple vehicles, right? I need to, at the end of the day, I need to track how many vehicles are rented out for the customers. So to count these vehicles, I am using this object tracer class. Okay, this object ticker bean post processor means whenever object is triggered, that time this class will be triggered. Okay, this tracer is nothing but at the end of the day or end of the week, how many vehicles rented out. To count that purpose, I given this one. So this is one of the simple class, user defined class, and here I am using the atomic integer. So these are the some user defined method. I am maintaining one application level variable, so that whenever object is going for rent, then I am incrementing with the help of increment and get, and whenever I want I can get the counter. This is simple class. Fine. Then I am navigating to the test class. Okay, this is the test class. This is a simple test class. Just I am using uh, just I am creating object for the bus, then we need to track how the flow of execution is happening. Okay, here I am using the bean factory as default listable bean factory. By using new operator I am created the object. Then with this default bean factory I am creating the bean definition reader. Okay, then bean definition reader I am loading the bean definition with the help of this class path reference, where our application context.xml is available. Now, as in our application, we are using the bean post processor, right? So this bean post processor will execute each and every class execution. Means if I am asking a bus object or car object, that time this bean post processor has to execute. So I need to hand it over this object to the bean factory. Okay, just for that purpose, yeah, I am adding, this is the listable default listable bean factory, add bean post processor. I am adding this bean post processor. Okay, whatever bean post processor we created object in our application context, right? This object I am getting, and I am holding that reference in the bean post processor variable. Finally, I am assigning this, or I am setting this bean post processor to my bean factory, so that whenever I am asking bean, then this bean processor logic will be executes. Okay, so in this case I am asking the container, I need the bus variable. Okay, so when I am asking first time, it will give the bus object with all the processor whichever we defined, right? Object will be created by using the new operator. Then if any setter injections, then it will perform. If we define the post process before initialization, then the process will be executes. Okay, let me execute this one. Of course the counter will get the later part. Okay, run as Java application. Just we'll see the output. Yeah, now this is my output. As we discussed before, how the bean post processor is executing, right? This is bus prototype is ready from constructor. By using new operator, the constructor object is created. Now, before going to the custom lifecycle management method, our bean post process bean initialization is called. Now the sanitization process is completed. Then whatever the user defined, right, that user defined color also he got. Now from post process after initialization, the vehicle registration is completed. Why this is last step means once all the required criteria is matched, then only user can complete the registration process. So this is the flow of execution. This spring is followed. Okay, then bus prototype is ready from. Okay, this is for another object creation. See, I created two objects, right? So two processes will be completed. So here I got two buses, means two buses rented to the other persons. So object count will be 2. This is how the bean post processor will be executes. And again the use case when we can perform means, suppose if we have common logic, instead of going with each bean lifecycle management method, let's go with the bean post processor, means one class, only one class, and implement from the bean post processor, do whichever mandatory operations. This is for before and this is for after. Okay, then we need to hand it over this to the bean factory, so that at the time of providing beans, the factory is aware that there is bean post processor object available inside the container, so it has to perform those activities first. Okay, so whenever we are creating this bean factory, right, that time what it will happen, it will read the application context XML, then it will do the verification and validation. Verification means the tags are properly closed or opened, and the validation is nothing but whether it is following the spring specific beans or not. See, bean means it's a validation, it's a spring specific. If I am going with the bean one, there is no meaning. Okay, then my application hyphen context dot xml read it, and it will create the IOC container. So whenever I am asking the any bean, that time it will go and verify is there any bean definition with this variable, and if any dependencies are there, then it will perform that dependency. Either it may be constructor or setter injections. Once that is completed, and before completion of object after completion of object creation, then if it is having any bean post processor bean is available, then it will execute that operations. If we are having both the methods having the different logics, means before and after, then we can proceed. Once this before initialization is complete, if any lifecycle management methods present in the application hyphen context.xml or not, it will check. So in this case it is having one init method, so it will perform this init method, then it will goes to the bean post processor after initialization. Now the complete bean is ready with all the necessary activities, so that user can utilize this one. And this is for just this object tracer. What it will do, it will just get the counter. Get counter means So counter dot init value. This is how the example. Hope this will give some idea. I'm stopping my recording. This is the example we took, and this is the flow of execution. Again, this is practicing example only. There may be other use cases and other flows may present. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I want to discuss one more thing. See, this is the way of doing the lazy initialization. Okay. Even Spring has support for the eager initialization as well. Let me comment this all lines and let me go for the application context.xml as well. Yeah, here I am creating the application context object with a new class path XML application context by providing the XML file path. Okay, what it is doing when I am going for application context at the time of, instead of asking at the time of, yeah, instead of asking the bean, it will create early at the time of bean create. Once the IOC container ready, that time itself all objects will be available. So even in this case as well, we no need to explicitly define this particular bean post processor to the container. Why we no need to define means because IOC container as the aware that this class is it is not a normal class, it is a class which is derived from the bean post processor. So even we no need to provide this ID itself. We can declare this class and the remaining things, if we keep as it is, it will work out. But here one thing, as it is eager initialization, in this case even it will create object for other classes as well. Means instead of prototype, whatever the singleton scope available, right, that all singleton scope available class objects will be created. So in this case here two objects will be created, and in the test class I am creating two more objects. Okay, so total I will get count as 4. Let me just execute this one. Yeah, total objects count will be 4. Okay, this message is printing, just it will represent the flow of execution. Okay, what is the flow of execution means, assume this is second bus creation and this is the first bus creation. It may be any vehicle. Okay, in this case just I am creating the bus vehicle. Okay, so with the help of constructor it is created object, then bean post process before initialization is called, then if I am having any init method, that init method will be called, then finally post process after initialization is called. Okay, and these are the methods: sanitization process completed and vehicle registration is completed. Why this is calling means, if I open my other two objects, right, I don't have any constructor and all. Suppose car I don't have, means empty object. There is no variables and methods, and motorcycle as well. But still for these two beans, whatever the bean post processor, right, where is this bean post processor, yeah, these two methods are calling. Make here note, Here I don't have my motor and car don't have any life cycle methods, nothing is there. But even though as the object's creation is completed, then this bean post processor to before and after will be called, so I am printing the output. Hope this will give some idea. So I am closing or I am stopping this recording. Thank you.